everyone, and thanks for joining us for the live broadcast of EA Sports MMA. I'm Brian Fritz.
And I'm Brian Dickerman. It's been an exciting several months here at EA Sports MMA on the live broadcast, and we're going to go over some of the biggest events tonight.
And we'll go all the way back to Mystic 1. We had the Game Changers take on the developers.
That was a big opportunity for the developers, the guys that actually made the game, to take on the guys that got their hands on it before anybody else and really got to test it out and feel it. We followed that event up with Strike Force 1, and that event, it was a big one, set a lot of things in motion when J-Rod choked out Preston in mere seconds.
Yeah, it was, because of a lot of expectations going into it for Preston, and went on the fight in short notice and lost in a short amount of time, too. Then we had Mystic 2 Global Domination, and what really stood out about this show, all European fighters.
Yeah, really breaking ground here. We got guys from all over the world actually playing on one night on the live broadcast. That was a big event. Followed that up with an even bigger event. Strike Force number 2, Josh Barnett joined us in studio.
Yeah, spectacular event having Josh Barnett in studio, and we had titles decided for the week, winning the welterweight title.
Schwally came in, dubbed Submission Schwally here at the studios at EA. He won the light heavyweight title, followed by a big win by J-Rod.
Yeah, following up his prior win, he went on to win the lightweight title.
We followed up Strike Force 2 with Mystic number 3. We had special guests in studio, Frank Trigg.
Yeah, it was great having Twinkle Toes in the studio, but we also had the online community Grand Prix going on.
Yeah, that was actually won in Mystic number 4 as Premier won it from MiddleEasy.com.
And the prize fighting continued into Strike Force 3 when we crowned a heavyweight champion.
That's right, WW Mike took the title, the first champion there. And then in Strike Force 4, J-Rod became the first multi-weight champion on that big event.
Yeah, when he won the middleweight title.
We moved on to Strike Force 5, who was 9th of many title defenses.
Yeah, Lucky Lopi defeating Schwally, become the heavyweight champion.
And then Lieber came in and defeated J-Rod for his newly won middleweight title.
You know, Dickerman, we've had some good times over these past few months, but even more so, past the fights and everything, some great memories.
Absolutely.
For Dickerman, I'm Brian Fritz. Stay tuned. And thanks for joining us here on the live broadcast of EA Sports MMA March Mayhem. Brian Fritz alongside Dickerman. 3 more fights coming your way tonight here on the broadcast.
Yeah, Fritz, we're going to start it out with KingKrunk taking on the MMA champion, followed up with Blade Flyer and Ken's Kid Wow, and then finally RuppDat is back tonight taking on SS Bormann. Should be a fantastic set of fights. We'll get things going, well, right about now.
And we take a look at this first fight, and you see KingKrunk taking on MMA champion Dan Henderson going up against Gegard Mousasi.
Yeah, we got Henderson and Mousasi, so they got the stats of the guys. So we know Hendo. Hendo's a great fighter, up and down, it doesn't matter. Not real high in the submissions. Over on Mousasi, pretty well-rounded. So this should be a good fight, and it's really going to come down to who's the better player between Krunk and MMA champion.
And you take a look right there, that is MMA champion.
Using Gegard Mousasi.
He is a green belt in the game, is MMA champion.
So not quite a champion yet, probably.
Not yet. KingKrunk and orange belt, 2 guys that are still getting their whereabouts when it comes to the game. Getting some more experience.
There's Krunk. Of course, big thanks to MiddleEasy.com. They are our sponsors tonight for this live broadcast.
Take a look at the records between these 2 fighters. Like I said, a little bit of a lack of experience right now, but good record so far. KingKrunk only with 3 losses. Meanwhile, MMA champions only lost 4 times.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. We thank you for joining us at the HP Pavilion. This fight is scheduled 3 rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Trained in the discipline of kickboxing, fighting out of Armenia, Gegard Mousasi.
MMA champion, a 54-4 record,
now,
off to a good start.
Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, trained in the time-honored tradition of wrestling, fighting out of the United States, dangerous Dan Henderson.
KingKrunk with a 44-3 record, so very similar records between these 2 fighters.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on! Here we go with our first fight on the broadcast. KingKrunk taking on MMA Champion.
Oh, no touch to the gloves there from KingKrunk. MMA Champion came out with the glove up, but KingKrunk shook his head and said, no, not going to happen, not tonight. Let's just fight, buddy.
You can join us in the chat room right now, easportsmma.com. Preston holding down the chat room.
This is our final event in the month of March. March Mayhem.
By the way, keep it tuned to the website here. We'll have more details about future live broadcasts.
It's been a great run here on the live broadcasts. What's to come next? Details very soon. Keep an eye on the blogs, the forums, easportsmma.com.
And by the way, we are looking for the online community to help us out when it comes to future live broadcasts. It's a great opportunity where you can help us and allow us to keep doing the live broadcasts. At least it looks like maybe once a month right now is what we're looking at.
Nice spinning back fist there by KingKrunk. Big thanks already to Stick Style and RuppDat for stepping up already from the community. Going to be promoting some fight cards of their very own here in the new future.
Stand-up battle between these two so far over the first minute.
Got a clinch there by Hendo. That is KingKrunk.
Push them up against Cage. Go for a little dirty boxing there.
Hendo special with that dirty boxing. Him and Couture very good at that with that Greco-Roman background.
Nice knee.
Control that upper body. Work them fists in there.
And
Musasi trying to swing out, but he doesn't happen to get it done.
Yeah. And we'll see if, well, you see KingKrunk not able to land any more blows, but did get a couple nice shots in there.
Good job of MMA Champion swimming out, getting away from the cage. Now he's got a clinch of his own, pushing.
He's
KingKrunk up.
He's going to show off his dirty boxing skills right here.
Looking to get some knees up the middle. He got one there.
And those knees are what can really be effective. They do a lot of damage.
Yeah, if you land them. Takes a lot of energy to go forth and do the knee, but if you hit that knee, it's big damage.
Big takedown right there by MMA Champion.
Nice takedown right into side control on top. Looks like Krunk is busted open there. He's trying to turn in. MMA Champion does a good job of keeping him down.
Yeah,
controlling him in the position.
Krunk with a cut on his left cheek, it looks like.
Back to their feet they go.
See, that's what those knees do as well, man. They can bust you up real easy.
Both guys very dangerous strikers, as you've seen in real life. The game, of course, mimics real life. Dan Henderson, huge punches. Same with Musasi.
Look at that interesting MMA Champion pulls guard.
Musasi's got a good submission game as well.
Both men very active right here, especially Krunk on top.
If there's ever been a weakness for Dan Henderson, it would most likely be his submission defense.
Yeah, these two guys, they're slapping each other around right now.
Musasi going for the triangle choke there.
Got a triangle in there. Can he lock it in?
That is MMA Champion.
He is pulling down hard on his head.
Got it locked in. KingKrunk doing all he can to fight out of this position.
Cutting off that blood circulation here.
Very difficult submission is a triangle, but KingKrunk is going to escape with the slam and the pass to side control.
Very nicely done there by Krunk. See what he can do out of this position here. And absolutely nothing.
MMA Champion right back up and into the takedown. He's into half guard.
Good job by Champion. He's taking the fight right where he wants it, moves right into side control.
That cut is looking nasty on the face of KingKrunk. MMA Champion on top, inside control, happy to hit the body and the head.
He's staying very busy here. You can see the damage that he's doing right now. Maybe not the biggest punches, but they do add up.
There you see KingKrunk trying to turn in.
Oh, he's got full mount.
MMA Champion blocks it, gets full mount here. Going to look to rain down some big blows. Oh, he goes high on the mount.
He's holding on to that position. He's not going to allow Krunk to buck him off.
He's got him up. He's got the mount. Oh, look at Krunk. Nicely sneaks back into half guard.
And that's difficult to do. When a guy gets full mount, it's hard a lot of times to get out of that position, but nicely done there by Krunk.
As you saw Hendo do, as you do in traditional grappling, you push two hands onto the hip, and you push your way out and get your half guard control. At least gives you a little bit of control, certainly better than being fully mounted.
See, Krunk desperately needs to get to his feet. That's where he can take control of the fight. He needs to be standing up.
Stop. Clean break.
Big John McCarthy's going to stand him up, but stamina there for a few seconds, all the way down to nothing there for Krunk.
I don't think I've ever seen Hendo do the Brazilian butt scoot too many times in his fights.
Look at that. Goes for the big spinning back fist, misses. MMA Champion immediately takes advantage of the takedown, but Krunk now reverses to the top.
Nice timing by MMA Champion. Look at that. Krunk's got full mount.
Hey, Krunk is ready to rain down with some big punches. Hold on that position.
He has turned the tables on MMA Champion. Oh, and MMA Champion bucks and turns and gets the sweep and then the pass.
Final 10 seconds of this first round as they keep going back and forth, passing at each other.
It's like a little dance going on here in the center of the cage. Full mount again by KingKrunk.
It's like an aerobics class there.
Those guys were going back and forth, side to half guard to roll into mount, the turn.
Very interesting first round. You see the big takedown there by MMA champion. Had the triangle locked in, or tried to lock it in earlier, but Krunk was able to get out of it. Close first round. Looks like MMA champion probably took it, though.
We talk about their similar records as making for a good fight. They're going back and forth. Both guys with about the same experience level, same amount of wins, very close, and it's made for a good fight thus far.
Look at all the blood on the chest and arm of MMA champion here, and that's from the trying to lock in that triangle and that nasty cut on the left side of Krunk's face.
That is one unfortunate thing. If you got a guy that's bleeding and you lock a triangle and his face is coming down, the blood's cut off to his brain, there's blood dripping all down from his head onto you. It's pretty gross.
Once again, Krunk wants nothing to do with touching up the gloves, and look at that, MMA champion pushes him up against the cage here.
He's got the Muay Thai clinch. He's keeping a hold of it, looking to do some dirty boxing, throw some knees up the middle.
Oh, he goes to that knee, just misses. Good job of blocking those by Krunk.
Krunk gets the over-under into the takedown.
Nice to go. Little trip right there, takes him right down in that half guard.
Gonna look to pass that half guard.
He's got full mount there
again.
Now, can he take advantage of it? Can he set up? And look at that. MMA champion reversing it now on top and moves to side control.
MMA champion, simple buck and roll to get out of that mounted position. Day one, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now you see KingKrunk back on his back again. They go back to their feet. KingKrunk has the advantage in the power of the punches. That is for sure. You'd think he'd want to keep this thing up on the feet if possible.
Yeah, Tesla. Going for a little dirty boxing of his own, trying to push him up here.
Looking for a few knees. Both these guys are wise to one another's knees. Look for another takedown, and there it is.
This time it's MMA champion with takedown. Immediately wants to stand up. That's pretty interesting.
Little trip takedown there. Oh, now they touch gloves.
Why not do it in the middle of the round? Sure.
Close matchup between these two guys. Good records, relatively new to the game. Both guys, at least that's how their players look to be.
Takedown right there by Krunk again. Don't forget we have two more fights coming up on this portion of the live broadcast.
Another thing to consider here, this is both these guys. Oh, that big shot.
Huge shot there by Krunk. He knocks him down. Trying to finish this fight off. Some thunderous left hands.
Oh, and look at that. MMA champion survives.
Amazing he's able to hold on there.
I was trying to say one thing to consider is this is both these guys' first live broadcast experience, so sometimes you get a little bit of jitters. You're not just playing at home by yourself with another person. You're playing in front of the entire world. So
2 minutes into the second round here, you can see Krunk still on top.
The Lugo poops.
I wonder if either of these guys has the Lugo poops.
Very good question.
Of course, that is.
I don't wish that upon anybody.
Victor Lugo here at EA, one of the designers of the game. When he plays live online, he gets a little nervous. He has to make a trip to the bathroom before he plays.
Well, T-Rex here, one of our guys behind the scene, always play little jokes on him, trying to make him a little bit nervous, and we know exactly where Victor's going anytime that happens. It's usually not fun when he tries to make him nervous and he locks the bathroom door.
MMA champion on top in full guard.
Boltman very active right here.
Absolutely.
He stands it back up and gets a big left hand there to the MMA champion. Spinning back fist almost. It does connect the block there.
Still got through. You can hold the block up, but you hit a big move like that, it still will go through. Just maybe not to the same. There, nice takedown and timing by MMA champion.
By the way, this has become a bloody massacre. It's like somebody has a hatchet out there.
It's a nasty cut on the face of KingKrunk.
Well, he's got a nasty cut on the left side of his face. He's got another cut on the right side. It's not as bad, but there is a cut there. And I believe there is a cut, a slight one maybe, on the right side above the eye of MMA champion.
Looks like that might be the case. This has been an action-packed fight. Kudos to both these guys. They have come to the live broadcast, their first appearance, and they are bringing it. Throwing caution to the wind, throwing punches, throwing kicks, just going out there and fighting.
Minute and a half left to go here, second round. Let's see where this fight is going to go right now. Both men have been wanting to go for takedowns, and you can see Krunk right there trying to open up in the stand-up game where you think you'd have an advantage.
You'd think.
Good job avoiding some punches there, MMA champion, but he eats a spinning back fist. Comes back with a kick of his own. Ooh, another big shot there by Krunk.
MMA champion goes for the desperation takedown after Krunk just creams him with a punch. That is that power of Dan Henderson. MMA champion survives, though.
And look at that. Champion gets right out of that position, goes for a takedown.
Looking for the single leg. It's stuffed and blocked by KingKrunk.
Yeah, good job by MMA Champion getting out of that position. You do not want Krunk on your back and raining down some shots.
Krunk looking for that big punch now. He's got to have confidence in the stand-up at this point. He's stunned MMA Champion on a couple different occasions here.
Ooh, a big shot right there again by Krunk, who stuns MMA Champion for the third time. MMA Champion fires back with a big kick.
Again, these guys just going at it. MMA Champion stunned, and he's still throwing shots.
These men came here to do battle, and this is a war.
Nice catch there by MMA Champion. Nails
huge shot there. He's out. He's out.
Big John McCarthy calls it. What a back and forth battle. Very nice win there by MMA Champion. Nailed him with a big shot and a couple more down on the ground.
Krunk, for some reason, decided to go to his back, and MMA Champion comes running in and boom, the big right hand to finish him off.
I believe, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that first, I think MMA Champion knocked him down, I thought.
I don't think he did. I think he just went to his back.
Son of a gun, it's not on the replay.
And gentlemen, the winner by way of knockout, Gegard.
Somebody at that dude's house is being very supportive and screaming for that guy.
There he is, your winner, MMA Champion. Great fight. Kudos to KingKrunk for bringing the fight tonight. Both these guys did a fantastic job in their first appearance on the live broadcast.
Yeah, and the household at MMA Champion very excited right now.
T-Rex says somebody's screaming over there. Yeah, all right.
Look at the numbers between these two guys. Both very busy. Krunk landing 162 strikes. MMA Champion with 166. But the most important one of the last ones, that big right hand, and getting the knockout victory over Krunk.
Great back and forth matchup to get us started here tonight on the live broadcast. Our next fight, Fritz, going to be a battle of a couple of purple belts.
Yeah, we move on to the light heavyweight division where Blade Flyer using Boss Rutan will take on Captain Wow. He'll be using Mayhem Miller.
That's actually, like, you think about that match, that is a dream match to see Boss Rutan fight a guy like Jason Mayhem Miller. That would be a fun match to watch in real life tonight. We're going to get to watch it on the live broadcast. Blade Flyer versus Captain Wow coming up next.
Let's take a look at the numbers between these two fighters. Using Boss Rutan, you're going to be a Muay Thai fighter. You can see the skills there pretty high across the board. Same when it comes to using Jason Mayhem Miller as Captain Wow was doing.
Yeah, almost mirror images when you look at the stats on these two guys, so that should make for a great fight. You look at their records are fairly similar too, so this could be very much like our first fight and be an action-packed war.
Yeah, hope everybody enjoyed the highlight package to begin the broadcast, to kind of a look back at some of the early fights here on the live broadcast.
Absolutely. More of those highlights are coming up here on the broadcast tonight. You see Captain Wow coming out first using Jason Mayhem Miller.
And next, Waffle. Boss Rutan, a part of this game when it comes to the training part.
Absolutely. Boss Rutan.
Bang it.
Got to see Boss fight. Fritz and I think one of the only two people ever to see that WFA pay-per-view back in the day that he fought on.
That is true.
Ruben Villard, I believe.
Yes.
It's great to see Boss. It was great to see Boss fight one time live.
Ladies
you got to see
and
it.
Gentlemen, it's showtime. We thank you for joining us at the HP Pavilion. This fight is 3 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is an all-around fighter, fighting out of the United States, Jason Mayhem Miller.
That is Captain Wow using Mayhem.
And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He is a Muay Thai standout, fighting out of Holland, El Guapo Boss Rutan.
There is Blade Flyer.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Big John McCarthy gets him set, and here we go. Blade Flyer taking on Captain Wow. Touch the gloves to start things off, and immediately Captain Wow comes out with a flying knee.
Touch of the knee right to the chin there. by Captain Wow.
And look at that. Stamina was all the way down already for Blade Flyer.
That was that knee connecting and him trying to throw a few shots. It'll wear you down in a hurry.
You go for a big shot and you miss, it's going to affect your stamina.
Stamina management, a key in the game, especially since the upgrades that were done recently.
And you can see the game plan already for Captain Wow. He wants to take this fight on the ground.
Made the game even more realistic than it already was.
Look at Blade Flyer coming back, a couple nice high kicks. 1-2 combination there. But once again, his stamina is all the way down. He is only throwing power shots so far.
Couple of purple belts here, so both these guys got pretty significant experience.
They do, but both guys are going for big, big shots right now.
They know they're on the live broadcast, so they're going for broke, throwing it all against the wall.
Captain Wow with the first takedown.
You don't want to be the guy in the live broadcast to have a boring match. Remember that one time the guy just did a butt scoot for a long time?
Unfortunately,
that one guy
yes, I do.
Who left to go pick up his girlfriend, the other guy just wouldn't go and finish him?
There's an armbar attempt by Blade Flyer.
Blade Flyer going for the armbar early.
Trying to lock that in. He's close. Pulling back on that arm.
He is shanking out of boss.
Can he lock it in? He only had it there.
Almost had it.
He's got it again. He's got it. And this fight is over. Captain Wow taps out to the armbar from Blade Flyer.
Nicely done by Blade Flyer early in the match. He locked up that armbar and finishes it off in a hurry.
Take a look at the highlights here, and man, got to be going crazy in that household too. Blade Flyer, look at that nice cinching in of the armbar and forces Captain Wow to tap out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by way of submission, El Guapo Bas Rutten.
Great job there by Blade Flyer. Amazing that it was Captain Wow that wanted to take the fight to the ground, but once it got there, it was Blade Flyer able to take advantage of the position, get that armbar in there, and get the win.
When you got two guys like that with great ground game and great submissions, you can see anything can happen.
Yeah, you can look, and fight didn't last long enough to really accumulate a lot of strikes, but you can see Blade Flyer landing 3 times as many when they were standing. Captain Wow kept going for the takedowns. Finally got it, but Blade Flyer gets to tap out.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you might get it, and you don't like the outcome, which was, in this case, an armbar by Blade Flyer.
And we move on, lightweight division fight here on the live broadcast. RuppDat taking on SS Bormann. We'll talk about this here in a minute, but a special meaning behind this fight for RuppDat.
Absolutely. You got a couple of black belts here, too. We've seen RuppDat on the live broadcast before. Guy's a great fighter. SS Bormann, he is new to the live broadcast, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the game, what his player is made of, how he stacks up against RuppDat. That big matchup is coming up right now.
Let's take a look at the numbers between these two fighters here first, Dickerman.
The numbers that jump out at me the most, SS Bormann, this is the first time we see him. Very high submission numbers. RuppDat's a bit lower, so Bormann, he's a jiu-jitsu fighter. Look for this guy to really take it to the ground and go for submissions in a variety of different ways.
Now, we talked about the special meaning behind this fight when it comes to RuppDat. He is dedicating this fight to Autism Awareness Month, which is the entire month of April. In fact, coming up on Saturday, that's National Autism Awareness Day, and RuppDat has let it be known that he does suffer from autism, like a lot of different people do.
It
affects a lot of people.
It's almost an epidemic at this point in this world, and they haven't figured it out yet. But it's great that he's actually fighting for this, and he's representing Autism Awareness Month. That's awesome. And the fact that he's awesome at the game is even more cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it affects a lot of different people. If not you directly, then somebody else that you know. Preston, his brother, Lake suffers from autism. T-Rex, his nephew Kenson, suffers from it as well. And you can see RuppDat coming out wearing blue, which is the color for autism awareness.
That is awesome. RuppDat and SS Bormann, pretty similar records there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. We thank you for joining us at the HP Pavilion. This fight is scheduled 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. With a background in jiu-jitsu, fighting out of Brazil, the boss, Rocco Gracie.
There he is, SS Bormann, jiu-jitsu fighter.
And a man with quite the belly button tattoo.
And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, trained in the discipline of kickboxing, fighting out of the United States, Hero.
There is RuppDat, like we said, fighting for autism awareness.
Are you ready? Let's get it on.
And here we go, lightweight division action coming up here. RuppDat against SS Bormann.
RuppDat we've seen before on the live broadcast. He had one great fight where it was just a fantastic come-from-behind victory. He had been losing the entire fight and came back and won in dramatic fashion.
And he's already stunned Bormann here with a big high kick.
Bormann goes in for that desperation takedown. As predicted, Bormann does want this fight on the ground.
And when you look at RuppDat, maybe it doesn't look like a physical specimen, but he sure packs a lot of power behind his punches and his kicks.
Absolutely. That's just like you see in mixed martial arts for real. Sometimes the biggest, strongest, most muscle-bound guys are not the best fighters.
Yeah, there's a lot of technique that goes in there. You hit the guy right in the right spot, man, and it's going to hurt, and it's going to stun him. It's going to possibly knock him out.
Got to believe Bormann's going to look to get this to the ground, him being the submission fighter, very high submissions. He is a jiu-jitsu fighter.
You see RuppDat staying very busy, using the jab there a little bit. Bormann goes for the takedown, but RuppDat stuffs it.
Nicely blocked there by RuppDat, timed well.
Oh, and it stuns him again with a couple high kicks. Bormann's down.
So those big kicks from RuppDat. He has stunned Bormann. He is raining down blows, but Bormann survives. Goes to half guard. RuppDat needs to be careful here, and wisely, he stands back up.
He wants his fight standing up. He has dominated this fight so far.
It's the kicks that have been so powerful for RuppDat.
He's done a great job of timing those, and he's avoided any kind of punishment, too. You can see him go in and out, use the jab to set things up, stay very active. Now allow Bormann to really get off a lot of effective strikes.
Bormann coming back with a few shots.
And you see RuppDat just kind of sizing them up. He's trying to find that distance where he can let loose with one of those big kicks again.
Both these guys seem to be very technical fighters, picking their punches.
See, once again, right there, RuppDat just missing with that kick.
Bormann does a good job of avoiding that flying knee. That's twice now he's avoided that move.
You can see what RuppDat does, too, is he uses that jab to try to get Bormann to drop his hands a little bit, and then he tries to connect with one of those big high kicks.
Bormann looking for that takedown again, does not get it. RuppDat, great job defending, sprawling.
Coming up in the midway mark of the first round here. Good kick to the body there by RuppDat.
Bormann blocks that flying knee again.
Stuns him again with another kick. Third time already this round, he's got him stunned.
Those kicks are very powerful from RuppDat, that is for certain.
And Bormann trying to get that takedown, but RuppDat won't have any part of it.
Bormann just tried plowing through him there, but RuppDat able to just step off and block that takedown, just pushes him away.
Yeah, puts his hands up on his shoulders and shoves him off.
They didn't have to sprawl on those last two takedowns, just kind of pushed him away and said, no, you're not going to get this. We're going to keep this on the feet as long as I can.
Ooh, there's the big knee connecting. Stuns him again, fourth time. Bormann trying to get a desperation takedown. RuppDat won't allow it. Being very patient here. He's not doing anything really reckless as RuppDat trying to finish his fight. He's content with just wearing the guy down like he has.
Yeah, he's hit some big shots. Bormann's been tough, man. He's taken some big shots. He's been stunned multiple times, but survived all of them.
But he's only gone down once off of those.
That's the thing. And like I was talking about RuppDat's big come from behind the last time, or recently when he was on a live broadcast, he had taken shots like that, been knocked out 4 or 5 times, and he came back with a giant shot. So the fight is not over until it is indeed over here at EA Sports MMA. Just as you see in real fights. There, look at that. RuppDat's hurt.
Look at that. Nice big left hand by Bormann. Trying to see if he can get RuppDat down, but he stays up on his feet. This really becoming a war here between these two.
It is a battle so far. A couple of black belts. RuppDat in the blue, Bormann in the black and gray.
Minute left to go here this first round.
With yellow accents.
You like the accents, don't you? Once again, RuppDat's got Bormann stunned. Big kick knocks him down. Big right hand. Trying to finish this one off.
He has busted him open. Look at that face. It's
this
done.
Fight is over. That's a mercy stopping right there as RuppDat is victorious over Bormann.
He stunned him with a shot, hit him with another shot, and just rained down blows on top of him. RuppDat gets the big win tonight. Extra special as he is. representing Autism Awareness Month tonight on the live broadcast, and he gets a big victory. Kudos to you, sir.
Sooner or later, he's going to try to finish this one off. Stunned him multiple times. Finally got him down and ended this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by way of technical knockout, Hero.
There he is, your winner, RuppDat Bormann. Looked like he got his nose smashed and flattened in that final series of punches.
Yeah, that was nasty what he did to that guy. Bormann, I think his nose is over on his right cheek.
Great fight here between a couple of black belts.
Take a look at the numbers here between this one. RuppDat, he only landed 17 more strikes, but it seemed like so many more of his were effective, especially when it came to the kicks, landing on or connecting with 16 of 41 kicks, and those were those shots, Dickerman, that really did the most damage.
Yeah, those shots, those kicks, they connected and they hurt every single time. Good win there by RuppDat. Good fight from Bormann, though. Really, 3 great fights to get us started here tonight.
Yeah, RuppDat with the TKO victory, as we just saw in the first fight, MMA champion with an impressive knockout victory over KingKrunk, and also Blade Flyer using the armbar to get a submission over Captain Wow.
Yeah, good series of fights tonight. Just getting going here, too, on the live broadcast.
Yeah, stick around, everybody. We got plenty of more action coming your way. Stick around here as we continue with the live broadcast of EA Sports MMA.